You're at a bar, hanging out with her, or maybe at the club, vibing to good music with her by your side, and you feel like something's in the air, but you can't quite figure it out. You start wondering, hey, is she into me? Well, buddy, you're not alone, as most novices to the game experience this a lot. However, you are at the right place, as all the unspoken signs that prove she's sexually attracted to you will be discussed thoroughly. You ready to unsolve that mystery? Let's go. Eye contact. Eye contact. Why do so many ignore this powerful sign of sexual attraction? I went grocery shopping with a female friend, and all through our shopping, I observed the damsel had her eyes fixated on me. You want to know what I did? Well, I was just like you back then. I was a complete novice, so I did nothing. Nothing. However, after honing my skills, I hit that coochie like a pro. Whenever you observe a chick fixating her eyes on you, understand that she's subtly signaling that she is so into you, as the eyes don't lie. Now, don't go mistaking a fleeting look for eye contact, as both are two sides of a coin. Always around you. Now, let's look into another chapter of the "Is she sexually attracted to you" playbook. To observe this sign, you have to be very observant. Whoa. First off, you go to the gym. You find her there. You hit the coffee shop to get an espresso, and you observe her presence. You hang out with the crew. There she is around the corner. Well, you need no soothsayer to let you know that that girl wants to be smashed by you. Well, the logic behind this is that when you find someone sexually attractive, you will always want to be around them, even when you're not invited. This rule applies to both genders, and I bet it's why she always finds a way to be around you. Don't let that go. Make a move on her and see yourself controlling her in the bedroom in no distant future. You catch her stealing glances. I hit the gym a few days ago to lose some extra weight. For a while, I was so focused on completing my routine that I was oblivious to what was happening around me. I noticed a petite brunette stealing glances at me when she felt I wasn't looking. As a pro in the game, I instantly approached her. We conversed very pleasantly. I picked up on her phone number and I left the gym. In no time, she was mine. During one of our numerous tete-a-tete, she finally opened up that all she could think about that first day when she saw me was me inside of her. You surprised? Shouldn't be, as the moment that a woman starts stealing glances at you, it implies that she's already fallen for you. Buddy, the moment that you observe this, confidently approach her and try holding a conversation. You can start by saying, "Hey beautiful, I caught your eyes trying to bore holes into my body. Guess you can't resist a good view." At this point, she'll most definitely want to give you her number so that you can pick her up from there. Or if she doesn't, get a better line. She laughs at your jokes. You ever heard of the laughter factor? Well, buddy, that's yet another powerful indicator that she might just be sexually attracted to you. You crack a joke or say something a little funny, and boom, she's laughing at it like this is the funniest thing she's heard all her life. She's not just laughing because you make better jokes than Jason, it's because there's a connection. Now, to that lady who has left you confused about her sexual attraction, I guess it's time to observe her mood when you make the little jokes. If she responds positively, well, then you've got your answer. She touches you. You ever been in the situation where that female pal always finds a way to make physical contact? I bet you have. Now, for the record, when a woman's touch becomes intentional, she's most likely whispering, "I'm here, and I'm interested." If a woman doesn't find you attractive, she won't ever touch you, at least not intentionally. So, buddy, the moment that chick starts finding a way to touch you playfully when she laughs or makes moves to hug you, hold your hands, or rub your hair, that means only one thing. She's sexually attracted to you. Just a little advice, buddy, don't sleep on that. Make a good move and see if you can convert that platonic relationship into one filled with fun, sex, and good memories. She throws compliments your way. You wake up one morning and you hear your doorbell ring. You walk to the door and you find your landlord standing with a serious look outside. On inquiry, he passes you some cash, saying that he's come to pay you for staying in his house. Undoubtedly, you would be surprised and unsettled, as you would feel there's a hidden motive behind his actions. Well, the same scenario applies when a lady compliments you. For the record, ladies rarely compliment guys. Instead, they're the ones who get dozens of compliments from guys. She fixes a new hairstyle, she gets complimented. She tries a new perfume, she gets compliments. She dresses up nicely, she gets complimented. Now, for someone so used to receiving compliments, giving out compliments means only one thing. She's so into you. So pay attention, because when she starts dropping compliments like confetti, that's her way of saying, "Hey, I see you, and I like what I see. She notices the littlest of changes. Even the little things matter. Well, this saying doesn't always apply to every scenario, but it remains a powerful sign of sexual attraction. So, here it is. When a girl starts picking up every little detail about you, that spells attraction. You get a haircut, she notices it. You switch to a different cologne, she tells you about it. Well, she's not just being observant, as these changes could go unnoticed around your male friends who observe better. Instead, she's signaling that everything about you matters to her. So the moment that you start observing her, noticing every little change that you make, know that you have a clear shot at getting her laid. Her friends will know. Let's talk about wing woman in the game of attraction for a moment. There are no other persons than her friends. Well, once a girl is sexually attracted to you, there's a high probability that she's going to tell her friends about it. And once her squad seems to be in the loop, well, they often give out sure signs. These signs are not just coincidences, as so many novices in the game tend to believe. Instead, they're unofficial sexual attraction messages. So pay attention to the group dynamics and observe if her friends subtly steal glances at you or let out a sly smile when they notice your presence, as decoding these unspoken signs will determine if you can step up your game or remain a novice towards sexual attraction matters. She starts the conversation. I watched a movie some days ago and it was centered on 3 characters. A lady called Debbie and 2 guys named Jack and Drake. Debbie had a habit of starting a conversation with Drake only when she needed something to be done. She needed help with her assignments. She'd go to Drake. She needed someone to help walk her dog. She'd go to Drake. On the other hand, she went to Jack when she needed someone to hear her out or to feel loved. So I need no soothsayer to let me know that Debbie was sexually attracted to Jack and only toying with Drake's feelings. And well, that was what happened at the end of the movie. Jack, being the bad guy, ended up smashing her kitten. Same thing happens in our everyday relationship with the opposite sex. Girls often want to speak with guys that they're attracted to. However, as a guy, don't confuse her trying to use you with sexual attraction. So buddy, learn from the Drake and Jack story and become the expert at smashing that coochie. Preining. Let's talk about the art of preening and how it proves sexual attraction. You ever observed a girl constantly adjusting her hair, fixing her clothes, or even brushing imaginary dirt off her clothes anytime she sees you? She's not going through all those troubles just because of vanity. Instead, she's sending non-verbal signals to you, yelling, "I want to look my best for you." And it's quite an uncertain place to be, not knowing if she's sexually attracted to you or not. Oblivious to truth and wallowing in continued wonder if she'd accept you if you dropped your pants is the worst position to be in. You gotta understand that for some of us, scoring a chick and getting laid is like clockwork, and every day we're increasing our body count. I don't mean to brag, I'm just showing you the little prestige that I have. So I'm gonna teach you the tricks of the trade. And as we delve in, I say, welcome to the club. Body language. You have to understand that with body language, it's a different ballgame entirely. I used to play fetch with my dog, and when I held the ball before I tossed it, I moved my arm in several directions, and every time I did, my dog moved in that direction. It was wild. The dog wanted the ball. When a girl sees you, she tries to mirror your body language and posture. I find it strange, dude, but it really works. When you cross your arms and you watch her do the same thing, it's a sign, dude. She mimics your open body posture, and she even begins dressing better around you. And no, I'm not comparing women to dogs. I'm just noting a parallel. All these are tips that she can't really change about herself. Girls are prone to act this way when they find you appealing and sexually attractive. She's like that dog that wants to go towards that ball. You are wanted, brother. Compliments. I've watched a movie a couple days ago, and this girl expected to throw a sword at her Prince Charming, who was fighting a beast to keep them alive. Now, my homie was in a dire strait, and had it not been for Providence, he'd have been killed. Her excuse was that the princess always gets rescued, but not vice versa. That's a problem right there, dude. Ladies will rarely compliment guys. We have to compliment ladies when they spend time dressing up and painting their faces. When a lady begins to compliment you, it's a sure sign that she wants and is invested in your happiness. That lady is invested in making you feel good. And feeling good can transcend communication. She could give you more than that. So please pay attention to her compliments, especially concerning physical attractiveness and appearance. Increased interest. When she always wants to know what you're doing and she's not afraid to poke her nose in your business, then, well, my friend, you got a chick that's ready to go. When other ladies want to know what show you're watching or the last time you smoked weed, she'd ask differently. Now, like this, want to know about your relationship, about what you're enthusiastic about, your life mission, purpose, and sometimes even your health. Girls are selfish, and it's not a fact to be disputed. Every time that they like a thing, they go out of their way to get it. And when she shows keen interest in you, it's obvious that she's sexually attracted to you. Flirting. I once dated this girl whom I had not seen getting playful. We had been friends a little bit before dating, but when she began liking me, she would tease me and she would poke fun of me. Whenever I was around her, she played a lot and sometimes added playful innuendos to the mix. When a lady goes to this extent, it's because she's attracted to you sexually. It is suggestive to say that every act that is a sign and a call for an intimate connection. It's not unusual for guys to flirt with girls and give us sexual glances, but it is strange for a lady to initiate it, so you have to recognize the pride. If she humbled herself, she would gladly accept you, pants down. Touch. I've spoken a little bit about how you treat what you like, and one of them is touch. When you like something, you want to touch it, to be near it, to feel it. And that is no different for ladies. When that damsel finds every opportunity to touch you subtly, it's because, well, there's a hidden agenda. During conversations, that beauty could touch your arm, your shoulder, hands, lightly, whatever. And on certain occasions, they might even go in for a hug. I was never big on hugs, but whenever I hung out with this certain girl, she always wanted a hug. And now, in my case, I messed up. I said, I don't like hugs, and I didn't do anything. But I implore you to take a big step and do something. Initiating contact. Some guys never learn, pretty understandably, but that's because they don't look. I used to be that guy. I once had a friend who worked so hard to see that we were left alone. Sometimes she'd call and ask if I was alone at home, and she never showed up if I wasn't alone. Anytime I opted to see her when I arrived, she was the only one in her house. Once a girl begins making plans, and intimate plans to spend time with you, it indicates that she wants to know you above normal. It's indicative of a desire for a closer relationship, and I can tell you for real, keeping it 100, that it will get real physical when you show up for the actual arrangement. So don't turn down plans, show up for them, and be ready to fulfill her desires. She's animated when she's around you. The excitement as kids before an ice cream truck can't be explained. My brother, who was sick, rose from the dead to welcome the car once. He had some change that he had kept and he bought some for himself. That animated experience is usually replicated in girls around boys that they're attracted to. You might understand that if you have more energy due to excitement, your brain and body do even more work than what it takes to maintain the average condition, we'll call it. When you're around that girl and she suddenly switches up instead of her usual demeanor and she gets excited to be before you, I don't need to tell you, that's a sign, my brother. It's because she wants to present her best self. You are appealing to her. So don't waste the opportunity. Use it. Lean into it. She has a file with your info. I never really understood how ladies remember the birthdays of that many folks. And then I dated this girl, and she never forgot a birthday of anybody in her life. Siblings, parents, anybody, all of that just off heart, off memory, off rip. And when I asked her why she went through so much trouble to store that information, her reply was simple. I value them. I value them. That's the secret, guys. When you observe that one girl who pays attention to details that pertain to you and even calls you out when you've made changes, she's attracted to you. A chick that is sexually attracted to you would go a long way to prove to you that she values you. When she stores information about you in her head and even asks you about more, she reminds you when you forget the reply that you had given formerly. I say, shoot your shot. She laughs at your jokes. Aside from comedy being an act, some people will go to great lengths to register that they don't like you. I used to know a girl who didn't like a guy. He didn't do anything to her, but she just didn't like him. Now, I'm telling you, that guy didn't have to do anything to piss her off. His mere appearance made her mad. And it's kind of like that for most of you guys. But I know that ladies are the most affected to this point. Ladies don't laugh at guys' jokes when they don't like you, especially when it's just you. The way to a woman's heart is to please her. About 90% of what you'll be doing is indirect. One of the few times of being direct is telling a joke, and if she laughs at it, that is a glaring sign that she's attracted to you and would hit the room if you gave it a shot. This point will set you apart from the wandering race. I want you to go forth and increase your body count. Click on the following video to become an alpha male.